What's up, guys? I'm going to talk you through one of the most epic overnight trips I've ever had. Honestly, I can't believe we got this lucky. We pulled up to the first spot. Colin dropped in a rod and reel and hooked into a nice cobia right away. So I hopped in the water, excited, thinking there might be another one. And sure enough, it swam right up to me. Normally the sharks are pretty bad here, so I decided to grab that line and horse that fish to the surface, keeping it away from the structure as much as I could. Even when there's no sharks around, something still wants my fish, and this Goliath grouper literally chased the cobia all the way to the surface. Whenever I deal with a fish that has the ability to take out a ton of line and is an extremely strong fish, I have to always pay attention to my line management. Eventually, I got my hands on this fish, got it under control, and brought it back to the boat. There was this massive school of bait and some permit chasing it around, so I decided to jump in and get some footage before we moved on to the next spot.
What you got there? Woo!
I think it'll do.
On our way to the next spot, we were able to find a whale shark, and I jumped in as soon as I could with the camera just to see what was going on, and sure enough, there was one cobia on it. Before I can even make it to the surface, I look over my right shoulder and there's a second whale shark with at least 5 or 6 cobia on it. If you look carefully, there's actually 2 whale sharks in the background, and I had no idea because I was so caught up in the moment and just being a part of the biomass that was following this one whale shark in particular. This is not the first time I've run into whale sharks that had cobia on them, and in the past, I typically try to get as many of the cobia off the whale sharks as possible. But this time around, I was really just happy videotaping, and I'm glad I did because I was able to capture Ryan coming down and shooting one with the pole spear. Notice how as soon as he shoots the cobia, it tries to run to the whale shark for protection, and Ryan does a great job of keeping it away from the fin and making sure that we don't wrap up against this whale shark. Even after Ryan's able to get this cobia away from the whale shark, it still makes one big push and a run for safety and drags Ryan across the surface of the water. Not only are cobia really big and extremely powerful, but they never give up. They will continue to fight until the very last second. Because these cobia have such crazy underwater wrestling matches and their meat is top quality and can be prepared in so many different ways, it's no wonder these fish are a top target for spearfishermen. As soon as Ryan gets the cobia under control, he points behind my back and I look over my shoulder and there is a huge school of permit. But we're in an area known as the SPZ, and during this time of year, it is illegal to harvest permit, so we won't be taking any of those today. After all that commotion, the other cobia seemed to have left, but the whale shark stayed around and decided to swim with us for a little while, so we decided to take advantage of the opportunity, and I gotta say, it was breathtaking. Eventually, we decided to part ways with these beautiful animals and head towards the area where we would spend the night and get dinner ready before the sun went down.
And I need to clean up on my... What you doing?
I'm cutting. In the morning, I jumped in the water and saw a Hammerhead Aggregation. I've been diving this area for a long time and I've never seen anything like this. Our last stop of the trip is in an area that is north of the SPZ, where we can legally harvest a permit, so Ryan jumped in and shot one. As you can see, they don't exactly give up easily either. Once the permit was under control, Ryan and I decided to head back to the boat. Once we had that fish on the boat, we put it on ice and decided it was time to head home. After a long 2 days, we were heading home with some memories that we will never forget.